Well, that just happened, and it couldn't have came at a better time. I'm trying to, can't really see it, but it's pretty dark up north, and that storm cell is coming south, and I got, I don't know, what is that, 110 acres to do yet before that rain in about 2 hours. So breakdown right now is not ideal. Obviously it's never ideal anytime, but it's Saturday. I wanted to get this field done before the weekend. This is the first pass of cultivating on some organic soybeans up here. I'm using a 3-sweep. Well, right now this is a 1-sweep, but I think Charlie's up on his way. We'll get this fixed and hopefully keep going. Here we go, boys. Alrighty, so we got it fixed. So I'm going to show you guys what we all had to do. We've actually been going for a little while. We finished this little, I don't know if you would call it a 30-acre piece. But you saw in the couple videos we had to torch these two things. I mean, it was bent like out here. Bend it back, line it up with this bolt. Had to put a new bogey wheel on it, or gauge wheel. Put 2 new bushings on, new bolt, and then put that sweep back on, or a new one. And then actually this rod, so this dictates how high that wheel goes. So we needed a new one of these, which is 2 bolts, a bushing, a washer, and a roll pin. But good to go. Only took about 30 or so minutes, but a lot of torching on that and kind of bending it with a wrench and hammer. But good to go now. So now I'm actually gonna fold up, and there's the big side of this field over there that I'm gonna go do quick. It is 11, or it's noon, and it looks pretty dark. They said down in Emmitsburg they got rained out. I'm up by Fenton right now, Fenton, Iowa, the big town of Fenton. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but we're the only one working up this way, so hopefully we can keep at least one cultivator going. It is not too dry around in our area yet, but since it is Saturday afternoon and we're not going to work tomorrow anyway, we've actually had really good luck with getting rains on weekends, so hopefully that continues. Very, very, very fortunate compared to a lot of people right now in the farming world. So if you are a farmer, comment how the weather's been for you guys. Just comment what you're up to, like always, and we're going to get moved over to the next field and talk more over there. Well, hey there, guys. Time kind of got away from me there for a little while, and it's about 5 o'clock now, but it didn't rain, and we're gonna finish this field. So now I know we haven't really done any content this year in beans besides that rotary hoeing video, so I figured I'll do one a day in the cultivator, and it just so happened that we broke stuff. So that's kind of what this first part was about. But now I'm gonna hop out here once I get to the end, show you guys what the beans look like, the weeds that we're taking out, and kind of the rotation and the difference between how we deal with corn and beans for weeds. Just a few little details and things we do differently. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do when I get to the end. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna show you, this is a pass I just did. You can see all the middles worked up. All these little roots, all these little weeds are ripped out. You can see all those white hairs right there. I don't know how well the the camera shows it, but there's a lot of weeds growing in these fields. So this first pass with the 3-sweep, super nice, super handy for all these weeds. You can see there's a little bit of grass. This might even be imposter corn. Some ragweed, some lamb's quarter, all the good stuff. Well, not good stuff, but all the weeds come out and play in these fields this time of year. So this 3-sweep knocks out the middle, obviously, throws a little dirt in the row, knocks out all those weeds. All the weeds in the row usually either get covered up, like, try to find a good spot. Here we go. Like, you can see the beans aren't super tall, but I'm not bending them over. But all this dirt in the row is covering up those white roots and just throwing weeds everywhere. I'm going about 4 miles an hour, no spots. If there's skips, which is one thing I'll talk about right there, you can see the beans aren't quite as tall. In some fields that didn't get planted in moisture, there was kind of just dead spots. There wasn't as much moisture, obviously, so they didn't grow as fast. So it's not, doesn't look quite as even as this field does, but all the dead spots I've seen on fields, the beans are just small. They're still coming along, but they're just not quite as far along as these. This is actually a really good looking field for weeds, growth, pretty much everything. But if we didn't cultivate this for a week, it would not look good. So that's why it's important when you can be in the field with, I mean, any type of weed control equipment, very important to stay on top of it. I mean, right now this field doesn't look awful, just from the eyes, doesn't look bad, just not completely green, but it would if we just kind of left it alone. If you have the mindset of, well, it doesn't look bad yet, it'll get bad very fast. Like these weeds, this is a pretty tall weed already. So these passes that knock them back, keep them knocked back, really benefit, especially soybeans. They don't quite canopy as fast as corn, which means they don't grow to the stage where they cover in the row. They shade in the row. We call that canopied, which kind of blocks the sun from getting to the weeds, which makes them grow slower, which is kind of where we want to get the beans, keep them under control until that point. And once we get to that point is when we start to really hand weed towards that last pass of beans. But this field looks really good, and the difference between our corn and soybeans kind of line up for weed control is we try to cultivate a little bit earlier, and we cultivate more. I mean, we probably do an extra two passes on some fields if we need to, just for the fact of they don't grow as fast or as tall right away, so we can get those extra passes in. And you can kind of tell we plant these at a much higher population than corn. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but they're a lot more, I don't know, free. Like corn, there's 4 inches of space. These, there's maybe an inch. If Jack watches this, he can correct me. But that's kind of the difference between corn and beans for us. We try to do more weed control in the beans and more often. You can see this big weed did not get taken out. I don't know what kind of weed that was, but going right in the row, that is not ideal. Anyway, a few of you guys would like to hear about the time, oh, I'm going real fast, about the time that one of the pickups ran out of fuel. So let me set the stage for you. So it was the summer of 2020. We were harvesting oats. We had just finished oats. It was the very, very last day of oat harvest up in Lake Park. So everybody was in a pretty good mood. I mean, everyone was happy. You know, we just finished oat harvest. Everything went smooth, no major breakdowns. And Lake Park's about an 1.5-hour drive back to the farm, which where we were going. And one of the pickups, we had 2 pickups. Keep that in mind. One had a fuel trailer, and then one had me and one of our employees in it. So the one with the fuel trailer got about 6 miles down the road until they realized they didn't have any fuel. And then about a half mile later, it completely ran out, which A, isn't good for a pickup, and B, kind of ruined everyone's mood. But luckily I wasn't too far ahead, so we turned around, hooked up with a chain, log chain, to the back of one pickup, onto the other pickup with a fuel trailer and towed it for 10 miles to the nearest gas station, which was through a town, keep in mind, Spirit Lake. So if you're from Iowa or around in the area, you'll know that that's not like a small, easy to get around town really sometimes. So it was very interesting. So we pulled into Casey's with 2 pickups and a fuel trailer being pulled. Fortunately, it was about 9:30 at night, so there wasn't much traffic, but we kind of learned a lesson from that. If you're driving somewhere, fill the pickup with gas and tractor. I mean, there's no reason anybody should get in a pickup that only has like 30 miles of range, or even just says low fuel, and drive it all the way up to Lake Park, like 40, 50 miles. So we've learned, or I've for sure learned from that day, it wasn't even me that ran it out, if your pickup's getting low or a vehicle is getting low on fuel, just fill it up. Anyway, there's the story about the time we ran out of fuel in one of our pickups. Super kind of ironic. It was on the last day of oats and everyone was super happy, and by the time we got home at midnight after the entire ordeal, nobody was really in the mood to celebrate the end of oat harvest. But for those who asked to hear it, there you go. Also, a couple of things about this tractor that I really like, specifically this one. It has the 2 monitors, so right now you can see, well, it still beeps at me. I have the second monitor with a camera behind me watching that, which, don't get me wrong, it's not the best resolution, so you can't see everything, but it's kind of handy sometimes, or just kind of nice, you know, just to check. And the Command Pro, I've talked about it before, best thing in the world. You can do everything from this. I can pick my cultivator up. I could probably set it up to fold it up, but I'm too lazy. Really like this. I mean, auto steer button set up for that. I just click it over like that. I have my preset right there. Automatically goes the mile per hour I want. Just super nice, super handy. Love it. Anyway, that's probably all I got for you today. Also, look at that hat. Such a good looking hat. Hopefully in a week or two we can get those out to you guys that are interested in them. Super nice hat. I mean, ignore my hair, but super breathable. I mean, for the summer days, it's just a great hat. It's not like one of those complete thick hats make your head sweat. It's adjustable. It looks good. I don't know if you got a birthday coming up for your kids or something, or even if you want one, be on the lookout for those dropping on our website soon. Super excited about that. And also, I don't know what I'm going to do with that many hats. If someone doesn't want them, but we'll probably find something for them. But anyway, just wanted to give a slight plug for those, which will be out soon. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. It was really short and didn't really talk about a whole lot, but just figured we'd get one out, keep the videos pumping out for you guys. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and we will catch you in the next one.